Hello, team, and welcome to another ATP Geopolitics video with myself, Jonathan MS Pearce. This is a Ukraine war breaking news update for the 25th of May 2023. And since I gave you a breaking news update yesterday of the reconnaissance vessel, the Ivan Khurs, being hit, being attacked by three naval drones, as according to the Russian MOD, in the Black Sea, I thought I'd give you an update to that. And this is sort of just coming out now, filtering through the kind of news sources and open source intelligence sources. So, what did the Russians say yesterday? Well, the Russians came out with this video, which shows that a drone is blown up by as you can see there, the machine guns of a vessel which has been definitely verified as the Ivan Khurs. As you can see, there are some parts of the vessel just in that corner there before it switched back to him, and that allowed that vessel to be definitely verified as the Ivan Khurs firing at this drone. Now, they claim there are three drones, and they destroyed all three drones, but oddly only showed footage of one of the drones. There's a lot of question about whether this drone was one of the naval drones that had been used before. The profile seems to be a little bit higher than the Ukrainian ones used before. So I was questioning why this ship was in the Black Sea at all, because I wasn't aware it was part of the Black Sea fleet that is operational in the Black Sea at the moment, and the Bosphorus Straits have been closed, as according to the Montreux Convention. So I wasn't quite sure how that was there. So I was a bit dubious of that, and a bit dubious of this drone itself. But anyway, I'm thinking it could have been filmed before. It could be some speedboat that they'd blown up as a kind of practice or exercise or something. Anyway, nonetheless, the Russians did claim that this was pretty close to the Bosphorus Straits. The Ivan Khurs does have machine guns on board. It has manpads as well on board, and so this kind of activity is certainly indeed plausible. And remember, I was telling you in yesterday's news piece that the Kerch Bridge, the bridge over the Kerch Strait here, was kind of closed to public traffic as there was smoke sent all around the Kerch Bridge as supposedly for an exercise they were doing. And I put that together with the idea that this boat was hit, and you're thinking, is that limping back to some port in the Azov Sea? Then, is that why there was loads of smoke? And that seemed to be a pretty plausible explanation. Had it then been hit, why was it not returning to the Sevastopol or Novorossiysk? I don't know. But the idea is that it happened 40 kilometers or 140 kilometers. Some people even said in the Bosphorus Straits. That's completely unreasonable. But there are different claims as to exactly where that happened. Well, if it is 140 kilometers away, that's going to be somewhere like that. And then if it was going to really chug it back to the Kerch Bridge, then actually that's going to be 600 kilometers in a day, 630 plus. That's going to be really unrealistic for a boat to do that kind of distance in that time. Well, anyway, what's happened today? This footage has been released by the Ukrainians, and this completely goes against what the Russian MOD says. So when you talk about, do we trust the Russian MOD or do we trust the Ukrainian MOD? Here's another example where the Russian MOD is factually incorrect. Okay, so they are demonstrably wrong. So when you're telling me, why don't I give the information what the Russian MOD claims has happened the day before, like I do the general staff with Russian losses? Why don't I give the claims of the Russians with regard to Ukrainian losses? Because they lie. They lie openly and very often. Here's another lie, because it turns out that at least one drone has struck the Ivan Khurs. If we look at this footage, we can see that the drone is coming towards the ship. It is being sort of peppered with machine gun. Not a lot, though. Machine gun looked like it was coming from behind. Anyway, that hit, as you can see, the rear of the ship towards the stern. That machine gun did seem to be coming from above, didn't it? And it hits there towards the rear. and this would have caused quite some damage. I mean, this is a naval drone that's designed to sink ships or damage them so that they are inoperable. There is every chance that that ship is in a lot of trouble. It did get hit with at least one drone. We then look at open source intelligence like this. Yesterday, in the area of the attack site of the Ivan Khurs, an American drone changed its basic flight course and made a couple of circles over the ship. Oh, wonderful open source intelligence, eh? I am sure that there is a video from the RQ-4 Global Hawk, but they will not show it to us. This then indicates that it happened somewhere around here. There's further confirmation of that general area. Surprisingly, the appearance and operation of the high altitude reconnaissance drone RQ-4B Global Hawk with the US Air Force in the Crimean direction coincided with yesterday's attack by naval drones on the Russian Navy reconnaissance ship Ivan Khurs, with the attack of drones on Sevastopol tonight. So that was last night. There were attacks on Sevastopol. In fact, the Americans, without hiding, carry out one of the most important forms of combat support: intelligence, terrorist actions of the Nazi regime. In the context of this, there is every reason to consider them not just as participants, says this person, in hostilities against Russia, but also as accomplices in terrorist attacks. Yeah, whatever. But what's interesting here is the positioning of the vessel. So now we are looking at this being the potential position of the vessel, and 400 kilometers is now suddenly a lot more reasonable for a ship to travel throughout a whole day. I mean, this happened at 5:30. If it's about 400 kilometers away, there's every chance that it could have made it to that bridge when they had the smoke covering the bridge, and could have got under the bridge and gone to wherever it was supposed to have gone. So anyway, that is what has happened. We don't know the eventual outcome. We don't know whether the ship was sunk or whether it is limped back to port, or whether it's gone somewhere else, or that smoke could have been a happy coincidence. Who knows? But you start piecing the bits of the jigsaw together, and well, it's fairly obvious here. This piece of the jigsaw is pretty big, and it shows that the boat was hit by a naval drone, and those drones can do some damage. So there's every chance the Ivan Khurs has joined the Moskva, but there's also a chance that it hasn't joined the Moskva and is just hanging out in some port, getting pieced back together, or something similar. Anyway, I thought I would share that with you as it kind of builds on yesterday's video, and it is sort of breaking news. Please like, subscribe, and share, all that kind of stuff. Take care, and I will speak to you soon.